does it sound like when history speaks in its own voice, unfiltered and unedited? For decades, the manuscript of Barracoon sat in an archive waiting for the world to be ready to hear it. Written by literary giant Zora Neale Hurston in 1927, this book is not a novel, nor is it a distant historical analysis. It is the raw, unvarnished oral history of Cudjo Lewis, Oluwale Kosola, the last known survivor of the Atlantic slave trade to arrive in America on the illegal ship Clotilda. This is not just a record of suffering, it is a testament to resilience, culture, and the indomitable human spirit. If you want to understand the true cost of slavery beyond statistics, this audiobook will place you directly in the room with Cudjo, listening to his memories in the dialect he chose to preserve. Hurston's approach was revolutionary for her time. She refused to translate Cudjo's words into proper English, insisting that his voice, with its unique rhythm and syntax, was essential to the truth of his story. The audiobook format is crucial here, as the narrator must embody Cudjo's distinct vernacular with respect and authenticity. When done well, the narration brings Cudjo to life, allowing listeners to hear the cadence of his speech, the pain in his pauses, and the pride in his recollections. It transforms the text from a document into a presence, making the listener feel like a witness to a sacred testimony. The experience is intimate and immersive, breaking down the barrier of time. The core of the book follows Cudjo's journey from his childhood in West Africa, through the horror of capture and the Middle Passage, to his enslavement in Alabama and eventual freedom. He describes the vibrant culture of his Takoi people, the shock of the raid that destroyed his village, and the brutal conditions of the Barracoon, the holding pen where captives were kept before being shipped across the ocean. These descriptions are harrowing and vivid, stripping away any romanticized notions of the past. The narrator guides listeners through these dramatic memories with sensitivity, ensuring that the gravity of each event is felt. It creates a profound sense of empathy and sorrow. One of the most compelling aspects of Barracoon is Cudjo's reflection on identity and belonging. He speaks of the struggle to maintain his African heritage in a society that sought to erase it. He details the formation of Africatown, a community built by freed slaves who wanted to live according to their own customs. These sections are inspiring and poignant, showing how culture can survive even in the face of systematic oppression. The audiobook captures the dignity in Cudjo's voice, highlighting his intelligence, humor, and deep sense of self. It reminds listeners that enslaved people were not just victims, but complex individuals with rich inner lives. The book also addresses the complexities of freedom. Cudjo shares his experiences after emancipation, including the challenges of navigating a racist society, the loss of his family, and the loneliness of being the last of his kind. He discusses his desire to return to Africa, a dream that was never realized. These reflections add emotional depth to the listener to sit with the weight of Cudjo's solitude. It validates the enduring impact of historical trauma. As the narrative concludes, Hurston's role as the recorder becomes apparent. She presents Cudjo's story without judgment or interference, allowing his voice to stand alone. This editorial choice is powerful, emphasizing the importance of listening to marginalized voices on their own terms. The audiobook supports this integrity with a production that prioritizes clarity and respect. It invites listeners to honor Cudjo by truly hearing him. Barracoon concludes with a legacy of truth and remembrance. Zora Neale Hurston and Cudjo Lewis leave listeners with the understanding that history is not just about dates and laws, but about people. For students of history, lovers of literature, or anyone seeking to deepen their understanding of the African American experience, this audiobook is an essential listen. It proves that some stories are too important to be silenced. So put on your headphones, open your heart, and listen. Cudjo is speaking, and his story matters.